God is listening to you. God knows your heart. God knows your pain. He knows every hardship you've gone through and every hardship that you will go through. A lot of us confuse these trials and tribulations that we're put through as problems with our own personal lives. But that's simply not true. A lot of times, we look at it as problems, as issues, when in actual fact, these are tests that God put us through to get us to be better, to make us grow stronger. Just like how when we go to the gym, our muscles have to be put to failure in order to grow bigger, stronger. And that comes with strength training and rest. And just like how when we squeeze an olive, oil comes out. When we squeeze grapes, wine comes out. And how diamonds are formed under pressure. When we are put under pressure, that's how we get strong. And only in these times of suffering and pain can we see growth in our own life. If there were no hardships, there will be no enjoyment of the easy times. That is why they say hard times make tough men. And I think oftentimes we forget that, and we want the reward so quickly. And we forget that after all of this, our breakthrough is right around the corner. We want benefits in our health. We want breakthroughs in our success, in our relationships with our family, with our academics, with our career. Oftentimes, our breakthroughs are right around the corner. But because we're so fixated on, I want things to get it done right now, I want it to get it done right now, we just lose track of all the things that we want. And we refuse, we push back God's will and say, God, I want you to follow me. But in actual fact, he just said, oh, wait a day, wait a week, and everything you have ever wanted will come into fruition. You just had to wait. You just had to have faith. That's why we call it faith, a leap of faith. I really think it's such a sad moment because God has so much things for us. And he just wants us to have the strength to trust in him. The strength to endure every hardship that he's put in front of us. So my prayer for you today is not to ask for calm seas, not to ask for the easy life, but instead to ask for the strength to endure the hard ones, so that no weapon that comes against us will ever prosper, and that every stronghold that is holding us must break. That's what we want. We want the strength. We don't want easy life. There's nothing that comes out of an easy life. We just get lazy, we just get depressed, and we just doom scroll all the time. When in actual fact, we want a hard, meaningful, fruitful life. That's why they call it the fruits of the Spirit, where we have love, joy, and peace. Only when we go through these hardships, when we put on the full armor of God, can we see these fruits come to life. That's why they call it sowing and harvesting the fruits. Honestly, we have to be open to suffering. And that's my prayer. And that's why we have all been praying for these things. Oh, God, I've been going through these breakthroughs. I've been going through these problems. And I need these breakthroughs. But just like how John, he was in the pot of oil. And he took no pain. He had no injuries at all. It is the whole point. It is through these problems, God gives you the strength to say, no, none of these problems will ever affect you. And you will only come out stronger. Everyone saw him, and that was the glory of God. They saw in suffering, they saw that John displayed the glory of God. They rejoice because you're in the middle of what you've been praying for. So have a little faith. Have a little faith in the Lord.